next speaker, we will see another vision about what APIs can deliver, about new worlds that are coming. And so for that, I will have Emmanuel Longere from Fabernovel, who will tell us about using augmented reality cloud anchors API to unleash metaverse use cases. I don't know if you've seen, but more than $100 million have been spent last week about like metaverse real estate. So it seems this word is really coming. So it's time to hear about APIs for AR and VR. Can we have Emmanuel on stage? Hello, Emmanuel. How are you?
Hello there. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And you are with?
Thibaut Farnier.
Hi.
Thibaut. Hello, Thibaut.
Oh, hello. We're three.
So for now, we're just on video, but soon we'll be on AR, VR. Glad to hear what you have with us about like cloud anchors APIs.
Great. Thank you for the
slides. Wow, beautiful slides, like Fabernovel always does. Yeah, the stage is yours. Thank you.
All right, let's go then. So today we'll talk about metaverse and AR cloud anchors. Quick introductions about why we wanted to talk about that. It's because today's augmented reality experiences are most of the time limited to the device you have in your hand. So it can be a smartphone, and you will have an experience on your smartphone. And if someone else has a smartphone as well and do the experience, it will be another experience, like another instance. And that's funny because there is a way using API to connect these experiences, which are AR cloud anchors. So to begin with, what is an anchor? An anchor is a pose. It's like a view for your camera that is going to be recorded to let the device knows where he is. So it is used to place objects in augmented reality. And today we have three main anchors that can be used. The first one is based on physical objects. So your camera sees a cloud of points and can say, okay, I know where I am. The second way is to use location like GPS and orientations with accelerometers. And the third way is to use both. So we see these technologies and these APIs very useful to unleash metaverse use cases, especially for persistence, because you can, let's say, place an augmented object in a place and then come back later, it will be still at this place. And also for multiplayer experiences, because you can share then experiences with several devices. So we will present you several technologies, several APIs. And for that, I let Thibaut and Bastien present the different possibilities.
Yes, thank you, Emmanuel. So yeah, we will see how the GAFAM implemented the cloud anchor and how we can have some AR experiences with the cloud anchors with Google, with Facebook, with Amazon, and so on. So first of all, let's talk about Google. So Google has an SDK, especially for AR experiences, that is called AR Core. This SDK could be used to create Android application, of course, but also like a bridge to be used by iOS and by ARKit that Thibaut will explain to you later. How does it work for Google? For Google, it will use the smartphone and its camera, and it will look at its environment and create a 3D maps of point. It will create some point cloud, and to analyze what it sees, and then it will create an anchor. This anchor will then be updated in the GCP platform in Google Cloud with a specific ID to matches and to retrieve this anchor. It will call the AR Cloud Anchor API that you can see the description on the top of this slide, and it will send it to the cloud, to the Google Cloud, with an ID and thus the cloud point the 3D maps. Then other users can request with the same ID, can say, okay, look for the anchor with this ID, and then the API will return the anchor, and once the smartphone will match what it sees, what it matches the anchor, it will display the virtual object matching the anchor. Later on our presentation, we will have a quick demonstration by Thibaut, a quick video of a presentation to be sure it will work. But you see really how it works, and you see that it works well.
So now a quick word on Apple's API. So Apple offers two different frameworks to make virtual augmented reality experiences. The first one is ARKit, and the second one is RealityKit. The two offers the same functionalities, but the second one, RealityKit, is more high level and easier to use to describe AR experiences. With that being said, Apple doesn't offer really per se proper cloud anchors, that is anchors that you would be able to store in the cloud. Still, Apple offers ways to have shared experiences. And the first way Apple recommends to make shared experiences is using something called the AR world maps. An AR world map is a recording of your surroundings, which is made of feature points, anchors such as images, horizontal or vertical surfaces. And this is all contained inside the AR world map and can be easily shared between several devices, as it is a serializable object. And the way Apple recommends using that is making peer-to-peer experiences. So no need to go to have any internet connection. You can usually directly connect the different devices between them. So that's one first way Apple offers to do shared AR experiences. And the second one is something that was released a bit more than a year ago, called the AR GeoAnchor. So as the name suggests, it's an anchor that is based on a location. It is actually built for outside location, as it not only relies on GPS, but also on the imagery that has been gathered from Apple Maps. There have been Apple cars that have been wandering around the big American cities, and also in London, to create an imagery so that the device can recognize the image of where it is and use the GPS location so that you can have very precise located experiences. And so from that, you can have shared experiences from the same place. So yes, the only limits with Apple is that at this time, this feature does not even work in Paris, where we are right now. But hopefully, London has been released this year, and we'll have more cities coming soon.
Then we have Microsoft. Microsoft has a way of working close to Google. That means that there are something called the Azure Special Anchor. They can be used to create our application for iOS and Android, but also for HoloLens, because it can work with Unity, with .NET, with the SDK, ARKit, and ARCore. They are based on a class called Cloud Special Anchor that can create an anchor based on a localization and 3D map of what the camera sees. Like Google, it will send an ID to specify the anchor on the Azure, so on the Microsoft Cloud, and it will send an ID and like something that is called the coarse relocalization. That means that we can recover the anchor by saying, okay, I'm here. If there is any anchor near to me, and the way to say I'm here can be based on the GPS, on the Wi-Fi, on the Bluetooth beacon. So we can see that the Cloud Anchor of Microsoft has something a little new, more functionality, like not better, but it's something different that can be used to gather anchor. It's not only by an ID, but it's also by localization, or even by the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth beacon. So it's easier to create and share experiences, AR experiences, with the Azure Special Anchor. Moreover, so it can be used not only with iOS and Android, but also with HoloLens and also with the framework Unity. And we will see later that it's a great framework to create an AR application.
Okay, so fourth one is Amazon, which sort of has the least advanced functionalities.
It does provide functionality to create 3D objects and place them, but does not ever provide any functionality to have location-based experiences or so. The only good major point is that their apps work on the web, contrary to all what we've quoted before, which are native apps. Yes, directly compiled apps. So, but other than that, it doesn't provide much than placing 3D objects in space. And the platform they're using is called a Sumerian to do so.
And the last of the GAFAM is Facebook. So Facebook, when they changed their name last month, or in October, I think it was, they also changed some new feature for their headset, for the Oculus headset. They announced a new SDK called Inside SDK that have a feature called the pass-through feature. This feature is currently on an experimental form, but it will be soon be available to all developers and to all Oculus headset to create some experiences. And what does this SDK bring and does these features bring is that we can create some spatial anchor with it to place virtual objects on the scene and to allow them to be persisted between sessions, so like the other cloud anchors. We still do not know how it will work at the end. It seems to, on the video at least, works really fine. But we are eager to see if it's works like Google and Microsoft, for instance, and if we can use it to create and share some experiences with Facebook and Oculus headsets.
So a quick summary about what we said. So I've not included all the actors we've talked about before, because Amazon doesn't have really advanced features, and Meta, we don't know yet much about how they work. But to sum up, what Apple provides is very interesting, but only works with Apple devices. Still, there are two ways to share experiences, either through peer-to-peer with AR wall maps or on the outdoors with the AR GeoAnchor. Google and Microsoft offer roughly the same solution with the cloud-based anchors. The main difference between the two being that Microsoft has a solution that works also with the HoloLens in addition to iOS and Android, and is more precise thanks to the use of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and imagery in addition to only the sensors of the device. And one actor that hasn't been mentioned before is Unity, which is a game engine, and actually which provides very advanced functionalities. So all what we talked about before provides a solution to place the items thanks to the anchors, but to get the multiplayer experience, there is no simple way, no framework provided with that. And Unity provides those frameworks and also allows to use the cloud anchors provided by Google and Microsoft, so we can have like the best of both worlds with the Unity game engine. This also would be true of Unreal, with the only limitation that there is no peer-to-peer framework. So you have to choose between the fact if you want to use a multiplayer on the web or multiplayer on peer-to-peer, according to your needs. So I'm going to follow up with a test, a little experiment we've made with the Google Cloud Anchors. So we've made a very simple Unity app so that we could build only at once, and for both iOS and Android. And there is the Google Cloud Anchor SDK that we've plugged directly to the Unity app so that we could use the anchors for both the platforms. So the experiment will consist of placing a cloud anchor and then having a face of a panda staring at you. You'll see. So how does it work? First step would be to create our anchor. So I've got a first iPhone here on which I'm going to place my anchor. So I've decided to put it here on my desk. And I tap on my desk somewhere, and then I'm starting to scan around the room so that I have a precise map of where the anchor would be located. I have the indicators red on green, and once I'm done, it's ready to be shared. And you can see at the bottom here that I've got an ID ready to share to other devices. So once this is created, you see this is real quick. Afterwards, we can retrieve the anchor on other devices. So for instance, here I've taken another device, which is an iPhone 6s, so quite old for doing AR. I think it's the first device which allows to use AR functionalities from Apple. And you see how quick it detects the surface and is able to place an icon. It took like something like 2 seconds. And here at the same time, I can show you how it works on Android. So same, I'm pasting the ID, and within seconds, I also find the location, and I can start my experience with the magnificent panda face looking at us. And he's happy to see us, so we're happy too.
And to conclude, this was a test with the frameworks. We've been a bit further with a quick experiment in our office to test these possibilities with multiplayer augmented reality. So here you can see a person holding a phone with a kind of eyeball avatar, and we are both seeing the same kind of clouds, which are Boo-like artist creations that we wanted to explain a bit about. And here he's making a little game. It's called Memorec, for the memory kind of game. And he's also painting all the ground. And I can see all he's doing, and he can see all I'm doing. And cloud anchors are facilitating this kind of possibilities. Here we are having another view of the painting from the front, and we are making our own painting with our feet. So we have been doing several experiences in our office. You can see here we are adding some flowers in the room, and it's very, very efficient to start working on metaverse use cases, because there we are not focusing only on the mobile, but also with the other people, and it's very, very funny, and it's very useful for gamification in your experiences. So that was it for the presentation. Now, if you have some question, we are going to be willing to answer to them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So one question about all what you showed. Are these APIs open to all, or like public APIs, or do you need to be certified, or do you need to have a specific registration?
No, it's fully open. No need for registration, apart from iOS, where you would need to buy your annual license to be able to publish. There is the same on Android if you want to publish, but if you want to start developing today, there is no need to register for anything. It's instantly usable. Yeah,
they can probably revoke at any time for any reason, but at least for now you can use them. Yeah. To your mind, what was the most easiest to use?
Well, to me, we decided to show Unity because Unity has the strength of combining all those APIs. They use a framework called AR Foundation, which allows you to create the basis for AR experiences for all the platforms, be it iOS, Android, or HoloLens, or Oculus, or anything. So yes, that's the great strength of Unity. In terms of advanced features, I would say that Apple still has a little lead compared to the others, because it's more performant. We've seen it was more performance in terms of anchor recognition, and the fact that you're able to share all APIscene multiplayer peer-to-peer is something that is quite advanced, and we cannot see with the others frameworks.
But if you want to go across devices, the best options are Google and Microsoft, because they allow to go on iOS and also headsets. So you'll have yes, a lot more devices working with their anchors.
Yeah, we have maybe a joke question about, like, did you try Magic Leap API? But I think it was a joke.
Unfortunately not.
Nope.
Now, for the one who doesn't know, but Magic Leap is this AR company who claim to be the future of AR, but who raised almost $1 billion in money. Just made a quick demo, and we never know exactly what's behind this, but at least they're really good at raising money. Augmented fundraising. Now, we have one question. Do we have any non-European actor into AR? Sorry.
Major ones?
Yeah, major ones.
Not to my
yet.
Yeah.
Not now. I don't think so. We don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. What's the pricing model of these APIs? Is it per how actually? What's the model behind all of this? Is it free for you to build? Is it? Where will be the money?
So for the cloud APIs for Google and Microsoft, it basically would be free to build. You can have you have a limited amount of API calls, but it's really reasonable when you start building them. I don't have the numbers in mind, but afterwards, but you have to pay after if you pass through a certain number of users. I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers. I don't know them, but
no, it's okay. It's okay. But at some point, it's the cloud APIs you have to pay, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And you pay per what? Do you have any idea? What do you pay? Number of users per call?
Yeah, per call. I think it is. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be sure the number of anchors you have or whatever. You have to manage it also in a way. Right?
The number of users, yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe now a question directly more about me, but do you see these cloud anchors APIs as the base of the metaverse? Is something a lot of people are talking about. I don't know if it will be an augmented reality metaverse or a full VR metaverse, but do you think they are the foundation of what people are trying to sell us?
For an augmented reality metaverse, yes, because we are going to need more and more interoperability into the use cases. So let's say if I go outside and start launching my camera, I would see some augmented reality content based on Google Map or Apple Maps, let's say, and that's something Apple and Google can provide today, which is very, very useful to unleash experiences like Pokemon Go, which is one of the most successful experience today in augmented reality because they have this content placed on specific locations. So we saw how it worked for Niantic and Pokemon Go, and I think the next company who use this kind of technology to share its content it's going to be very powerful and very efficient because a lot of people will have access to it and in real time, and it will be persistent. So yeah, all the things that we see in online gaming actually.
And I think another information to have in mind is that, for instance, Facebook, which have only VR headset, is currently trying to open it with the pass-through feature, for instance, and to anchor it to the real world. So it's not just only VR, but it's VR in the real world. So it's more like AR thing, even for the company that create VR headsets.
So it's AVR, augmented virtuality.
Yeah, exactly. What Microsoft called MR, mixed reality. So yeah.
or mixed reality. You say Pokemon Go, but Ingress from Facebook, I think, was also a good.
Google. I think it was Google too.
Yeah, it's Niantic.
No, Google. Sorry for Google. But someone told me at Google, yeah, actually we mostly built the game because the Google car could not go in some areas, and so we wanted photos inside specific whatever buildings. Or specific where we couldn't have Google Maps, so we made a game for people could use AR to actually play the game, but actually could, and you had to take photos if you remember. You have to take photos of some things, and actually how to populate Google Maps Street View. I think that was really brilliant if it was that.
It was, yeah, definitely.
And the photo were used in Pokemon Go later. The photo of a point of interest.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Pokemon Go use the same. So you can still use not only in analytics on the web and mobile, but you can use user-generated content also in the AR world. Thank you very much, Emmanuel and Thibaut. And sorry, I forgot your
Bastien.
and Bastien. Thank you very much. And again, love to invite you at another APIs conference to continue the story about AR APIs.
With pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.